I just want to
What's
know
your
on
point?
my point is I want to know how often you feel unappreciated.
It's because I'm so understanding and so accommodating of certain things, then you're probably beginning to let it get to your head.
Oh, girl, open something. Story. How do you handle feeling unappreciated in our relationship? How do you handle feeling unappreciated in our relationship? And why are you always picking the very serious ones? And I pick
Okay,
the
so how do I handle feeling?
Yes.
Or being?
How do you handle feeling unappreciated in our marriage?
How I handle that?
Right.
Well,
I think it could be one. Do you ever feel unappreciated? One, and then how do you handle that? Two-tier question.
Of course, I feel unappreciated. Yes.
Sometimes.
Of course, sometimes. And because I am not one to speak a lot.
That drains me.
What drains you?
Not talking and expressing yourself almost immediately.
Because I'm not one to speak a lot, I kind of let certain things slide. So at the time when I'm going to speak up, then things would have piled up. And so sometimes I kind of explode, and maybe you could call that overreaction. I won't call it overreaction, but I kind of explode and then, just kind of let you know my feelings, but in a more aggressive, rather rash manner, which I know I need to work on. I'm not like that all the time. But yes, I do feel unappreciated, and it doesn't happen all the time. It happens every once in a while. And maybe...
Sorry, once in a while and occasionally. Is the same thing? Occasional is very, very, very few times. So once in a while is more often.
They can be used interchangeably, but...
I just want to know my point is I want to know how often you feel unappreciated.
It's not
That's
often.
why.
It's not often. But it happens definitely, of course. Yes.
Of course.
It happens. Mm-hmm. It happens because there are times when I could we could have some disagreement over something. And then maybe for some reason we don't manage that situation well enough, and then we just kind of get really upset and do our thing, and then sometimes you might do something innocently, right? And I could start asking myself, okay, it looks like this lady is taking me for granted. You understand? It looks like because I'm so understanding and so accommodating of certain things, then you're probably beginning to let it get to your head. So that's an example of such times when I feel that way. Other times it could be you maybe not thinking certain things through and then making certain decisions that kind of upset me, because probably I was not carried along, or maybe you just thought I would be okay with it for whatever reason. You thought that decision I'll be okay with it, and then in my mind I'm like, okay, you are beginning to let me say the street way, you are trying to ride me, because I'm always cool with stuff, so those are some of the instances where I feel unappreciated. And one more thing, maybe I've been doing a marathon run with work so long, and you always say this, that I hardly get anything for myself. I'm just beginning to learn how to change that now, because everything I'm thinking about is family, food, fees, bills, that so I'm hardly. And then so if somehow you bring something up that kind of indirectly looks like a shot at me, you understand, like an attack, for not doing certain things.
Like helping me with laundry
Well,
or helping me with
no,
things
no,
or
no,
what
no.
exactly?
No, but I can't, kind of put a situation to that right now. But when that looks like an attack on me and it's going against me doing, performing my duties as the man of the house, then I begin to say, oh, okay. I mean, what would you have had me do? I begin to ask myself, okay, is it because I'm being this selfless, that you are beginning to take these
Take
shots at
perfect,
me?
yeah.
Yeah, so those are certain times I feel that way, but to the glory of God,
So no, so the glory of God answers it. So how do you handle feeling of unappreciated? You pile things up, you explode. End of this episode.
No.
What
Can you just stop doing this?
Okay, so explain in one word.
How do I handle it?
Yes, the feeling. How
feeling.
do you handle feeling unappreciated? One word.
I explode. I used to explode.
One word. Exposure.